Whoopi bleeped cussing out Trump over D-Day visit, Americans give her smackdown. Whoopi Goldberg was so unhinged yesterday while hosting The View. The 63-year-old was censored by her own network. It seems the Trump-hating Goldberg lost her cool watching the president get major kudos from around the world for his historic D-Day speech. Raving like a mad woman, ABC had to bleep out Whoopi cussing out the president. Well, immediately Americans gave her an epic smackdown. You'll love this. You'd think for 24 hours the shrews of The View could put aside their Trump Derangement Syndrome in favor of celebrating the 75th anniversary of D-Day. You'd think they would realize it's not always all about them. You'd think they would stop, so as a nation we could come together and celebrate the greatest generation who saved this country from undeniable evil. Well, you'd think wrong. That's why Whoopi Goldberg had to be bleeped out while she trashed President Donald Trump's attendance at the D-Day festivities. For Goldberg, and her cohorts, there is nothing Trump could ever do to satisfy them in any way. Goldberg and her buddies started out by commending Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi for not criticizing Trump on foreign soil during an interview with MSNBC in France. They noted Trump had jabbed at 2020 candidate Joe Biden while he was in Japan. Well, they spoke too soon. In fact, Nancy Pelosi had not only criticized Trump, but the speaker also went so far as to say she wants to see him in prison on Wednesday night. We don't expect the shrews to trash Pelosi now, even though the 79-year-old made them out to be liars. Trump's out of control, said never-Trumper Ana Navarro. He called Bette Midler, while at a state visit in England, he called her a washed-up psycho and a sick scammer. This is after she apologized. Everybody has done this, has retweeted something they thought was true, and then you realize it's not, and then you say, hey, this wasn't true, I cleaned it up. And he still called her a psycho, Goldberg said. What Goldberg is leaving out is that Midler also tweeted out someone should shiv Trump. Of course, shiv means stab. Funny how Whoopi won't talk about that. But it's a little rich to watch him in Normandy, too, I have to say, Joy Behar quipped. Goldberg then went on a tirade about Trump and bone spurs that had to be bleeped out. I don't even want to talk about what he did bleep. I don't want to talk about him there because it just bleep 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 out of me. I just don't. All those people who went and gave their lives, they didn't ask, they didn't have bone spurs, she said. They went. People went to fight the ugly that was happening. They went and did it. That's all I am going to say, said Goldberg. Well, Americans responded to Whoopi's rant, and they made it clear the Hollywood leftist has gone too far. World War II soldiers didn't avoid combat over bone spurs, Whoopi, but I am willing to bet sane men have avoided you because of foul ugly attitude, tweeted Twitter user AMABLACKPATRIOT. Whoopi, Navarro, are you guys for real? If yes, you guys are the epitome of highest level of stupidity and ignorance. I believe that you guys are anti-American and a sellout, tweeted Antonio. The truth is the majority of Americans are getting sick and tired of the repetitive and constant attacks on the president, and to do it when he is on the world stage is especially disgusting. There is no voice of reason on The View. If the producers truly wanted to have different views on that show, they would have someone who represents the 63 million Americans who voted for President Trump. Instead, they employ never-Trumpers like Meghan McCain, Abby Huntsman, and the worst Trump hater of all, Ana Navarro. We bet even those who didn't vote for Trump saw yesterday's show in bad taste. CNN's Jim Acosta had to relent and give the president a tiny bit of praise for his historic D-Day speech because the biggest Trump haters are realizing Americans aren't buying the non-stop bash fest these networks and shows have become. We need to continue to push back and call out bad behavior by those who have huge platforms to sow discontent in America. Armed with their misinformation and lies, they must be unmasked as the true enemy of the American people.